some big things for you today. Would you like them now or at the break?
Break.
Break? Okay. So, guys, tell me the theme of this class.
Good udder, clean cut, straight line, functional feet and legs.
That's right. Always keep that in mind. Our quote of the day is, the surest path to positive self-esteem is to be successful at something you perceive as difficult. I know many of you think that dairy judging is difficult, so just keep this in mind when we're out at the farms and judging dairy cattle. Okay, guys, pull out your PDCA scorecard. We see on the scorecard that when judging dairy cattle, frame is worth 15%. Dairy strength is worth 25, rear feet and legs is worth 20, and udder is worth 40, the most important trait. Right here are what I like to call my calculators, and it breaks down each category in what you will look at in those categories. So I'm going to pass these out. We'll go over them at the farm. Okay, class, did everyone bring their clipboards and calculators?
Yes?
Okay, we'll get those out because we're ready to judge dairy cows. Okay, class, do you remember what the most important trait on a dairy cow is?
The udder.
That's right. So now we're going to go over the parts of the udder and what you look at when you're judging. And Laura, would you come over here and point out the sections? First, we have udder depth. Moderate depth relative to the hock and adequate capacity and clearance. Consideration is given to lactation number and age. Next is rear udder. You want a high, wide, firmly attached with uniform width from top to bottom and slightly rounded to udder floor. Next we have teat placement. Squarely placed under each quarter, plump and properly spaced. Next we have udder cleft. Evidence of a strong suspensory ligament, indent, udder cleft. Evidence of a strong suspensory ligament indicated by clearly defined halving. Next is your fore udder. Firmly attached with moderate length and ample capacity. Next is teats. Cylinder shape, uniform size with medium length and diameter. Neither short nor long is desirable. Next is udder balance and texture. Udder floor level as viewed from the side. Quarters evenly balanced, soft, palatable, and well collapsed after milking. Laura, will you come and explain dairy strength to the class while Lynette points out the characteristics?
Dairy strength starts with ribs, being wide apart, rib bones wide, flat, deep, and slanted towards the rear. Well sprung, expressing fullness and extending outside the point of elbows. Chest, deep and wide floor, showing capacity for vital organs, with well sprung foreribs. Barrel, long with adequate depth and width, increasing towards the rear with a deep flank. Thighs, lean and curving to flat and wide apart from the rear. Neck, long, lean, and blending smoothly into shoulders, clean-cut throat, dewlap, and brisket. Withers, sharp with chine prominent. Skin, thin, loose, and pliable, and those are your dairy strengths.
Good job, Laura. Lynette, will you next talk about the feet and legs? And Ashley, will you come and point out the feet and legs?
Rear feet and legs. Movement. Today we won't be seeing the animals move. However, at a typical show, you will see the animals move. First, rear legs side view. Moderate set to the angle of the hock. Rear legs rear view. Straight Wide apart feet squarely placed. Feet. Steep angle and deep heel with short, well-rounded closed toes. Thurl position. Near central placement between the hip and the pin bones. Hops. Adequate flexibility with freedom from swelling. Bone. Flat, clean, and with adequate substance. Pastures. Short and strong with some flexibility and having moderate upright angle.
Good job, Lynette. Ashley, we're going to do the frame now, so will you talk about the frame while Laura comes up and shows us?
The rump should be long and wide throughout. Pin bones should be slightly lower than the hip bones with adequate width between the pins. Thurls should be wide apart. Vulva should be nearly vertical and the anus should not be recessed. Tail head should be slightly above and neatly between pin bones with freedom from coarseness. The front end. Adequate constitution with front legs straight, wide apart, and squarely placed. Shoulder blades and elbows set firmly against the chest wall. The crop should have adequate fullness blending into the shoulders. Back and loin. Back should be straight and long with loin broad, strong, and nearly level. Stature. Height including length in the leg bones with a long bone pattern throughout the body structure. Height at withers and hips should be relatively proportionate. Age and breed stature recommendations are to be considered. Breed characteristics. Exhibiting overall style and balance. Head should be feminine, clean cut, slightly dished, with broad muzzle, large open nostrils, and strong jaw.
Great job, guys. Now we're going to compare two cows like you would do in a judging situation. No matter how many cows there are in a judging contest, you always want to judge them in pairs and compare those pairs. Now we're going to compare these two cows. Laura, will you come up and compare the udders between the two cows?
With these two cows, this one has a higher rear udder attachment with a more defined crease, as well as a snugger fore udder attachment. As compared to this one, she has a bulgier fore udder attachment. She's longer in the rear udder attachment, but she is wider in her rear udder attachment.
Those are some good points, Laura. Now, Lynette, will you come up and compare these two with dairy strength?
Comparing dairy strength in these two, this animal is more open in her ribs, allowing two fingers to easily be placed between each of her ribs, and has a deeper spring of ribs. However, this one is deeper bodied and more level over the top line. I grant that this cow is more angular over her top line. In the chest floor, this cow is more wider and powerful throughout her chest floor, compared to this one who is more narrow in her chest floor. On head and neck, I would go with this one because it is cleaner in its neck and its head.
Great comparisons, Lynette. Now we're going to have Ashley come up and do the feet and legs.
This cow has she's more squarely. This cow her legs are placed more squarely beneath her. This cow has more set to the hop and has a better foot angle, noting the slant in the middle.
Good job, Ashley. Now we're going to have Lynette come up and do the frame.
This cow is taller frame and is wider in her pens. However, I do grant that this one is wider through her chest floor compared to this one.
Okay, class, so make sure you take a good set of notes on these two cows because on Tuesday you'll be writing reasons